risen! Have you brought me a bunch of flowers already? Well, take your time. You know where to find...
Shall we gather the materials needed to assemble a bunch of flowers? I can guide you to the vicinity of our destination, Master.
We're in your hands, sir. Much obliged.
Good day, sir.
If our destination is a distant one, travel by ox cart might be worth considering.
One hopes these carts offer comfort commensurate to their costs. Come to think of it, different masters favour different pawns. One whom I served preferred to have beastrons for allies.
Fascinating.
My feet always take me here. Wonder if it's too early for dinner.
As you wish. I shall return directly.
Wonder how long this job's going. Can't someone talk about this? Time to be ready.
Mayhap this ladder is here for a reason.
Wonder if anyone will know when we can stay here a bit.
Hoya risen! Have you brought me a bunch of flowers already? Well, take your time. You know where to find...
Got it. Knees. I'm in fine fettle. I'll wander about and see what's a good bird. One can never be too careful.
Have we purchased all that we require? We ought to review the contents of our packs, just to be sure. What's more, ours is a party of women, by and large.
And yet, no two of us are the same.
We have obtained a bunch of flowers, as Miss Daphne requested. Now we have but to deliver it to her. At At last we've arrived. Delivery in hand.
We ought to make the delivery now, lest it should end up lost or misplaced.
Oh, someone do what about this? Not sure why I patrol it, if I'm honest.
Hoy, Arisen! Have you brought me a bunch of flowers or... Oh, just look at them. They're the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen. These should brighten the sisters' days. Say, would you mind terribly if I asked you another favor? See, one of my friends taught me a magic spell. It's supposed to let you meet whomever you like. All you have to do is find a silver stone, put it under your pillow, and say the magic words. But there's the problem. I've been looking all over for such a stone. Would you find a silver stone and bring it to me, Arisen? For true. I knew I could count on you, Arisen. I'll be waiting.
Our next mission is to acquire a silver stone. Mayhaps silver ore will serve. We can purchase it, or mine it up ourselves.
Oh, it's not right. It doesn't make any sort of sense. The doctor examined him afore and said he'd be better with a bit of medicine. Yet e'er since he came here, he's only gotten worse.
I understand how you must feel, but you must see that your son's health continues to wane. There is no medicine that can heal him outright. He requires proper treatment. I am caring for him as best I can. I beg only for your patience. However, if you truly cannot entrust him to me, perhaps you would care to take him home with you instead. Mayhap convalescing in a place familiar to him would aid his recovery.
Home, you say?
Dear, we are pressed enough as 'tis.
All right, he stays. But pray bring my son back to health.
I will look after him. I swear it.
Ne'er in my wildest dreams could I have imagined it would be the magistrate you...
That woman's taking advantage of us, she is. She knows...
Will he truly be all right?
Sir, ought you not be in... Ah, forgive me. 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Eleanor. I regret that I cannot offer you a cup of tea, but I'm in the middle of making... Not to mention, I have to find the means to procure more medicinal ingredients. Oh. You wouldn't happen to know someone willing to brave the roads, would you? I know 'tis... You would procure it yourself. In that case, might I trouble you to bring me some miasmite? The slums are a bane to the body's humors, and its residents... We do what we can with what little we have, but we're always short on helping hands. Your aid is most appreciated, sir. May yours...
Tell us, miasmite can be harvested from phantoms, monsters that wander the world at night.
Yes, of course. I see it now.
Oh, what does this say?
Let's have a look then. A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here? to think of it, we might already have what we seek stored away. I suppose there can be no harm in bringing this along.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner.
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say.
The paths to victory are myriad indeed. That strategy will never be
Truly? On my way! Sleep magic! Whatever 'tis you need, I shall gladly oblige.
I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
We ought to take a closer look.
No place I'd rather. Wonder if there are any rumors to be had in town. I've got notice. I can get just about anywhere. I'll take it.
This place offers a view of the sea.
I imagine we would not escape a plunge into the water's depths. We've arrived, just as planned.
Oh, I can't find a silver stone anywhere. Have you fared any better? Oh, just look how it shines. Thank you ever. Say, aren't you curious who I want to meet? Well, I'll tell you. My mother and father. Not to say I'm unhappy at the gracious hand, of course. But I want to tell them how grateful I am that they gave me life. Oh, it's so shiny. Oh, hi, Arisen. You'll help me again if I need...
Miss Daphne seemed pleased with our efforts. Mayhap we ought to pay her another visit sometime soon.
True enough.
Oh, it's so
Can scarce afford to keep us fed these
What am I
days.
supposed to do? Must have taken a wrong steady. Well met. This here's the... I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Many thanks. Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business with. Let's not be
Best efforts come to naught.
Think about
My
business.
You're a welcome sight, Arisen. As ever, I'm yours to... command.
Be well, Arisen. I'm not one for tearful goodbyes, but I must admit, I've grown rather fond of you.
Are you fit to travel? Then let's not dawdle.
I'll go and open the chest. I happen to understand Elvish, Master. I expect you'll find my talents useful should we encounter another speaker.
Arisen, I know of at least one location in the vicinity that may be of interest to you. Shall I tell you more?
My knowledge from other worlds tells me that a forgotten riftstone lies near here. Shall I lead the way? I would have preferred not to have to fight so soon, but at least I know I am up to the challenge. We must not let down our guard. That was superb, Arisen.
I will protect you.
I don't like the look of this.
Arisen, I should have expected you may yet linger here.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself. Now this is a conundrum.
never heard such nonsense. Whatever am I to do?
Might I interest you in my humble wares? Hope to see you again.
Not buying? That's just as well. Better to be selective than wasteful.
The Arisen is ever prudent in the application of coin.
Well done. These fiends are only truly defeated when their skulls are smashed beyond repair. Take that! Nicely done.
Come, follow my example.
Well done. Do not despair! I'm coming to your aid! It is vital you remain level-headed. This bow is drawn to women as a moth to a flame.
Such single-mindedness makes our enemy predictable, but not necessarily easy to counter.
Our foe has been knocked off balance! Grab hold and drag it to the ground!
Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall!
All creatures who know death cling to life.
It is the mark of a champion to prevail with flesh.
Yes, master. I will hasten to your aid.
It is the simplest strategy of our foe most of all. Knock its feet out from under it, and strike near it recovers.
This battle will demand all our strength. We must stand together if we are to seize victory.
Efficiency at its best.
Once more!
Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor. We must not let down our guard.
Arisen, I know of at least one location in the vicinity that may be of interest to you. Shall I tell you more? Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
You have my protection.
We have found a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
So just when almost all of the villagers had arrived as well. Oh, why must these scaly fiends beset us so?
Oi! What are you doing standing about when there's work to be done?
Jonas! This is the good sir I spoke of. The one who called the Saurians for us.
Is that right? Then I expect you to aid us with this mess, stranger. You did it once afore, eh? Only natural you'd help finish.
My apologies for the chief's temperament. Yet he speaks truly. We have need of your strength. Pray, cull the beasts as you did before, sir. I dare say you...
More Saurians. Let us deliver them a swift end and ensure the village's safety. Careful now. Well fought, Arisen. We can ill afford to throw over. Our foe is not yet routed.
Outstanding.
Well done!
The Saurians are no more, I see. That's twice you've come to our rescue. You're more than a friend to Harv Village, Sir Arisen. You are truly, we cannot
Here he is! I found our troublemaker!
Jonas! What is the meaning of this?
This blasted beastren went and ventured into Stormwind Cave. How many times have we said none are to tread there? But he just had to poke his nose where it didn't belong. There can be no doubt he's the one who incited.
Forgive me. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Trust a beastren to muck things.
Jonas! Surely there's no need for such talk.
You would say that, wouldn't you? Seems to me beastrens go causing problems, and we...
Jonas, please! You're being ridiculous.
There!
I do apologize, but we mustn't let this sour your triumph. You came to our aid when we needed it most, and for that, you have our gratitude, Sir Arisen. I do hope you shall visit us again anon.
'Twas a rotten note to end things on. I do hope Sir Fioran will be all right.
Well met. Looking... To make a purchase? Much obliged, sir.
All this work and so few coin to show for it.
Arisen, I know of at least one location in the vicinity that may be of interest to you. Shall I tell you more?
In traversing other worlds, I came to know of a treasure chest in this area. Perchance you'd like to see it. Methinks I know where that is. Pray, allow me to show you the way.
I say we set out at once. The sooner we arrive, the sooner we find out what we're dealing with. It appears night has fallen while we slept.
Shall we check our packs and be off?
Ready to forge on?
You're welcome to take whatever you want.
Skeletons! There! Holy attacks are our best bet against this foe.
Let me get that.
Rid yourself of that oil for co-taste.
Dare I say it? We trounced our foe, well and true.
We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent. Take each trial as it comes.
I will protect you.
Continue our onslaught, and the behemoth will soon topple. Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall. Might we not use their rage to our advantage?
Understood.
You're gonna regret that.
Yeah, I for it.
I did my best to match your skill, Master. Now here's a surprise.
A splendid discovery.
These phantoms make a terrifying foe.
Now then, which way? Let us examine each path carefully before we decide.
I've just recalled. I found a treasure chest near here during my travels beyond the rift. May I show you to its location? Pray, follow me. I know the way, so there's no chance of our getting lost. Pray, follow me. Following along, I trust. Take care not to lose sight of me.
When tarred, be sure to avoid open flame.
You have my protection.
fine place to harvest some ingredients.
No harm in picking a few. We're here, Master.
Oh, well spotted. I'm sure my master would be astonished to learn this is here.
I'll gather this. It might be of use.
Arisen, I know of at least one location in the vicinity that may be of interest to you. Shall I tell you more?
You're soaked. Do try not to catch cold.
We've got goblins! I shan't let them bomb me.
Fire must be put out, ere our comrade dies.
Arisen! I knew you loved this world too much to leave it behind.
Now, what might that be?
We ought to take a closer look.
Most impressive, Master.
Let us not get ahead of ourselves. The battle continues.
That was certainly worthwhile.
There's a ladder here.
Ah, excellent find.
Need anything?
Wonder if there's any easy work to be had. On Dilla, he's here. It's been a hard day.
Greetings. I pray this will convey the depth of my gratitude.
This is just...
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive me, but I must return to my rounds directly. Ah, but in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premise. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? Would you... As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived. An unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now, even their poor son Lubomir, by chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for them, so he was put into our care.
Figured I had to thank you somehow.
Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him. But to be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that after all. There is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only... But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now.
Psst! You there. Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till he told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... something isn't right about... Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the gracious hand, come tell me of them, won't you?
duty to devote my life to
I must
prayer
strive
and
for
virtue.
a higher understanding.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace, discussing a curious rumor.
Regarding the Queen Regent and an important personage, you mean?
Indeed. Some suppose there is more to her relationship with the... Batali dignitary, then it's...
Might I beg but a moment of...
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles. She gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of affliction, and yet a part of me is afeared for them.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Not much going on hereabouts. I end up feeling weary even after a day of rest.
I don't know what to do.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of... And none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis that you've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. Oh, you've my thanks. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need.
To get to the bottom of what is happening at the Gracious Hand, we shall have to acquire evidence of any misdeeds.
I quite agree.
The patients in this room must not be disturbed.
How might we enter the basement sick room?
Well said.
Mayhap 'twould serve us well to track down the former patients mentioned in these records of treatment.
You have my support.
Wickedness has no hold upon a tree.
My head hurts just thinking about it. Life can be tiring even if you've no troubles.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room. Can't say as I missed that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place. Suppose 'tis only to be expected. Given the state of those assembled, I'm sure I was moaning too.
Elena? Ah, yes. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. In the end, I survived, but methinks... And once, I saw her. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up. And you'd think 'twere medicine. But I'd not have bought medicine from a man like they were whispering. but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night.
Of course, no one would bother with a wretch like me.
I don't know what... I do hope naught befalls Lupamir.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found any... What? Do you think... Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw before coming here. Radcliffe, his name was. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must...
Methinks...
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found... These look like... record... Johann and Bruno. I know these two. They left here not long ago, fit as a pair of fiddles. I recall them being especially meek to the abbess. Mayhap that's what got them out. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would...